October 1933. Jews cannot belong to German automobile clubs.
April 1933. Jews must be expelled from sports clubs.
April 1933. Jewish teachers must be discharged.
March 1935. Jews are excluded from parks, restaurants, and swimming pools.
April 1937. Jews are not allowed to graduate.
April 1937. Jewish children are to be expelled from state schools in Berlin.
July 1938. Jewish doctors must not practice anymore.
July 1938. Aryan and non-Aryan children cannot play together.
November 1938. Jewish children are no longer allowed to attend public schools.
October 1942. Jews are not allowed to buy books.
Transport from Vienna to Nishko on the 20th of October 1939. 1,005 Jews.
Transport from Frankfurt to Minsk on the 11th of October 1941. 1,052 Jews.
Transport from Gleiwitz to Auschwitz-Birkenau on the 20th of May, 1942. 167 Jews.
Transport from Munich to Theresienstadt ghetto on the 3rd of June 1942. 50 Jews.
Transport from Vienna to Auschwitz-Birkenau on the 8th December 1942. 9 Jews.
Transport from Vienna to Theresienstadt ghetto on the 27th of April 1943. 2 Jews.
Transport from Linz to Theresienstadt ghetto on the 15th of September 1943. 1 Jew.
Transport from Trainkirchen to Theresienstadt ghetto on the 2nd of June, 1944. 1 Jew.
Transport from Salzburg to Theresienstadt ghetto on the 15th of February 1945. 7 Jews.
Transport from Amstetten to Theresienstadt on 15th of April, 1945. 77 Jews.
Buses. In Alabama, all passenger stations shall have separate waiting rooms or space and separate ticket windows for white and colored races.
Pool and billiard rooms. In Alabama, it shall be unlawful for a Negro and a white person to play together or in company with each other at any game of pool or billiards.
Education. In Florida, the schools for white children and the schools for Negro children shall be conducted separately.
Mental hospitals. In Georgia, the Board of Control shall see that in no case shall Negroes and white persons be together.
Intermarriage. In Georgia, it shall be unlawful for a white person to marry anyone except for another white person.
The blind. In Louisiana, the Board of Trustees shall maintain a separate building on separate ground for the admission, care, instruction, and support of all blind persons of the colored or black race.
Education. In Mississippi, separate schools shall be maintained for the children of the white and the colored races.
Prisons. In Mississippi, the warden shall see that white convicts shall have separate apartments for both eating and sleeping from Negro convicts.
Textbooks. In North Carolina, books shall not be interchangeable between the white and colored schools, but shall continue to be used by the race first using them.
Libraries. In North Carolina, the state librarian is directed to maintain a separate place for colored people who may come to the library for the purpose of reading books or periodicals.
Swimming. In Oklahoma, the baths and lockers for the Negroes shall be separate from the white race, but may be in the same building.
We have waited for more than 340 years for our God-given and constitutional rights. I guess it is easy for those who have never felt the stinging darts of segregation to say, wait.
But when you have seen vicious mobs lynch your mothers and fathers at will, and drown your sisters and brothers at whim,
when you have seen hateful policemen curse, kick, brutalize, and even kill your black brothers and sisters with impunity.
When you see the vast majority of your 20 million Negro brothers smothering in an airtight cage of poverty in the midst of their affluent society.
When you suddenly find your tongue twisted and your speech stammering as you seek to explain to your 6-year-old daughter why she cannot go to the public amusement park.
That has just been advertised on television and see tears welling up in her little eyes.
When she is told that Funtown is close to colored children.
And see the depressing clouds of inferiority begin to form in her little mental sky.
And see her begin to distort her little personality by unconsciously developing a bitterness toward white people.
When you have to concoct an answer for a 5-year-old son asking, "Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean?"
When you take a cross-country drive and find it necessary to sleep night after night in the uncomfortable corners of your automobile because no motel will accept you.
When you are humiliated day in and day out by nagging signs reading white and colored.
When you're harried by day and haunted by night by the fact that you are a Negro, living constantly at tiptoe stance, never quite knowing what to expect next, and plagued with inner fears and outer resentments.
When you are forever fighting a degenerating sense of nobodiness, then you will understand why we find it difficult to wait.